Hello everyone, this is Tech20 coming at you with another video in our installment Excel 0 to Hero, where we cover everything from getting started with Excel all the way up through the more complex projects. Today's video is going to be regarding formatting, so we're going to do a lot of different formatting today, and go ahead and make this all nice and pretty so we can go ahead and use the data that's here. So as you can see, we have a tool inventory. And we're going to go ahead and shrink this down so we can go ahead and format it together. Let's see, we have items, we have hammers, screw drills, driver, socket, set. So we're not sure what that is, but we're going to go ahead and format this. So there's a couple different ways you can format the widths here. You can either just double click, and that will, once you see those two arrows in the line, double click, that'll make it go bigger. If you don't want it, if you have a whole spreadsheet and you don't want to go through every single column and do that, you can just go ahead and highlight and and when you see that again, double click, and that will do every single column on there. Same thing's true for your rows. You can do it there and just click there and then double click. It'll set all your rows to the correct height. You can also, when you see that line and those two arrows, right click, and then you can come down here, go ahead and bring it down just a little bit. You can right click and then come down here to row height, select that, and then you'll be able to select your row height here. So right now it's set to 15, and then the same thing is true here for your column width, I'm sorry. And then you got your column width, which is set to 16 right now. All right, so that's it for that part of it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, first and foremost, is we're going to learn how to format this as a table. So what we're going to do is go ahead and select our data. We're going to leave the title out for right now, because what we're going to want to do is merge and center this at some point, but not quite yet, because we'll just cover all that title there when we're ready for it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and highlight our data here. So just go ahead and click on one of the cells and drag it down to the end. Then we're going to come over here to format as table, which you can see right here. So go ahead and click on that, and that'll bring us to our drop down menu of the different formats that are available. As you can see, there are quite a few formats that are available under format as table. So we'll just go ahead and pick one. I like this one, so I will pick that one. And it'll automatically select our data rows for us. It'll say where's the data for your table. And you'll see that it has a $A, $2, which is selecting cell A2. Those are absolute values, so they don't change. And then $B, $7. Make sure that this box is checked. My table has headers if your table does have headers. And then go ahead and hit OK. And as you can see, our items are now formatted in the table format. Should you need to add additional rows, you can just click here on the last row, and then let's say we wanted to add a drill bits, and we have 600 of those in stock. And see how it just went ahead and added that row? Exactly. If you ever need to add items to that table, it will do that just like that for you. All right, so so you'll see that item has a drop down. So if we need to sort it by items, we would just unclick, select all here, and then on check, I should say, not unclick, on check, and then we just want to know how many hammers we have in stock. So that'll bring it and just the hammers. You'll see that turns into a data filter, which we'll click on filtering in another video as well. So we got all our data back. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do is go ahead and do Format Painter. So what we want to do, first and foremost, we want to center and merge that title, right? Because we want it to spread across our data so we know that that's actually the title. So we're going to go ahead and highlight the two cells that it's going to spread across. You can do this through any range of cells. You can do it all the way through there. You can do it through A through Z. Doesn't really matter. But for our intents and purposes, we're just going to do A and B here. Go up here, click on Merge and Center. Now, Merge and Center does have a few others. Merge and Center, Merge Across, which is merge the selected cell in the same row into one large cell, which is what it kind of does. Merge cells turns it into one cell, and then unmerge cells. We'll just do Merge and Center because that's usually what most people do anyway. And then, so we have that merged and centered there for us, as you can see right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. I want that to format in the same format as this because we want it to look exactly the same, right? So we're going to go here, click on Item or On Hand, either one. Click on Format Painter and click there. Now what happened? It uncentered and merged it. So we just have to go back in and click Merge and Center again, recenter and merge it. Now we have our title and then our item on hold. But I don't like the way that looks because I want an underline on there because I want that to be separated when I look at it. So we're going to come over here to the borders, and we have bottom border, top border, left border, right border, no border, which is what we have now, all borders, which makes it a whole box, outside borders, thick outside borders, bottom double border, thick bottom border, top and bottom border, top and thick bottom border, and then basically all your types of borders that you can have, right? So I'm just going to put a thick bottom border there. Let's see, do I like that? It's going to have to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like that. You can change that anytime that you want to or anything like that, but I like the way that looks. It looks fine to me. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And so I've got my borders here, and then I want to go ahead and add some formatting to this. I want these on hand here to be, someone may ask if, let me back up just a little bit. Someone may ask if you can right align a merge and center. You certainly can. What you're going to do is come up here, click here, and then align it to the right or align it to the left after you clicked merged and centered. You can also, I'm just going to increase the row height here if you need to. Right now it's it's selected to the bottom by this here, the alignment. That will put it in the middle of the box, and that'll put it at the top. I'm going to move it back and go ahead and double click here, double click here. Now it's back formatted the way we want it. So you can also do the decrease indent or increase indent on your formatting as well. So if I have something that's really long here, like if I said set of 10 screwdrivers I have in inventory, right, that's going to run over, and you can see that that's going to really make your table stretch out, and it's not really maybe something you want because you've got all this other data that you want to be able to review at the same time. So what you can do is, first and foremost, I will learn how to spell screwdrivers. There we go. All right. So shrink it back to where you want it, and then what you can do is click on that, and then click here on wrap text. That will make it go down to the next row, etc., etc. If you don't like the way that looks, because I kind of don't, I want it all on just 2 lines. I can stretch this out until it stretches out to 2 lines. Then I'll come over here and then double click to automatically adjust that row height. That'll work for us here. So I'm going to go ahead and just erase that there. Just kind of wanted to go over that just in case someone was going to need that. I'll come over here, double click, make it all go back to normal. Okay, there we go. So if we wanted to go ahead and so if we needed to format the numbers here, we can do that as well. So let's say that our hammers are $153. Those are quite expensive hammers. Just click there on that $sign, and you'll be able to show that as a price instead. Now, obviously, I don't want that because I'm counting numbers, but, or if you wanted percentages, I have 200, it adds those extra 2 zeros. Does anybody know why? Because a percentage is always adds those 2 zeros. So, for example, it's always less than 1, so it's moved over 2 times on the other side. So it's going to add those 2 zeros there. We're going to go ahead and format that, though. Then if we needed to add commas, like let's say we had 25,003 screwdrivers, and we wanted to format that, we could just hit the comma there, and then that'll add it, and it'll add the zeros. You can also increase the decimals, so if you want more decimals, or less decimals, or no decimals at all. I'll just go ahead and continue to go back until it's formatted the way we wanted it. All right, there we go. Now, if we wanted to, I'm going to go ahead and put this back to 250. And then, so if we wanted to do some conditional formatting here, which is basically if certain conditions are met, then it will automatically format to that. So conditional formatting says, go ahead and shrink our screen just a wee bit. I don't want to do too much so then you can still see. But I'm going to go ahead and bring over conditional formatting. And then we're going to use our numbers. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have our on hand, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight those. And I want to know anything that we have less than 155 on, right? So then we're going to see a few different things come up. So we're going to do a highlight cells and then rules. And let me go ahead and drag the screen over just a wee bit more. Or not. Okay. So let's just go ahead and do this on hand, and we have our conditional formatting, highlight cells. No, let me pause this and get. Okay, I apologize about that, folks. I'm still learning how to use this studio software that I'm using, so please, I appreciate you bearing with me on this. So we're going to go and click on conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and this is going to be greater than, less than, anything between, equal to, text that contains, date occurring, duplicate values. There's all kinds of rules that we can set here. But for this one, we're just going to do less than. And it'll come up here, and I'll say format cells that are less than 316. That's because that's the average of all these numbers. So I'm going to change that number to 150. I'll do a 175. Okay, and then with light red fill and dark red text, so that's what it already formatted to. If you want to change that, you can do whatever they have pre-selected, red text, red border, light red fill, green fill, yellow fill. I'm going to do a custom format, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to want it to bold, and I want it to change the text red. So I know that I'm getting kind of low on that particular item. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit OK here. And as you can see, it changed our text to red on these 3 values. Now, if you say, I really don't want that rule, I need to go ahead and erase it. You'll come over here to conditional formatting. So come down here to manage rules. This will give you your rule that you have. And it's already highlighted, so you'll just click on delete rule. And then hit apply. OK. And if you come back over to your numbers, you'll see that your numbers are right there. Unformatted again. All right, that concludes today's lesson. If you have anything you'd like me to cover again, please do leave it in the comments. This is Tech 20. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Please leave a like, subscribe, thumbs up. Have a good day. Bye-bye.